Negative exponents. Nobody needs that kind of negativity in their life. Just kidding. So right now, with your calculator, do this. 3 raised to negative 2. Do that in your calculator. I'll give you just a moment. So if you did 3 raised to negative 2 in your calculator, and you did math, enter, or maybe you didn't even have to do that, what you got was 1 over 9. I wonder how that worked. Well, here you go. Here's the rule for negative exponents. X to the negative 1 power equals 1 over x. What is going on here? What is going on is the negative exponent signals us that whatever that power belongs to is on the wrong side of the divide sign. Written this way, just x to the negative 1, it's the same as x to the negative 1 over 1. I took a whole number and I made a fraction out of it. Now you can see that what you end up with is this flipped upside down. The x goes to the bottom. The 1 is going to be on top, not because the fraction was really flipped, but because once you take everything away from the top of the fraction, the only thing that will remain is a 1. It's kind of a placeholder, if you will. So the negative fraction, the negative exponent means that whatever it belongs to is on the wrong side of the divide sign. So as soon as you start seeing those, ding, 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 bells and whistles should go off saying, I need to make a fraction if there's not one already, and then I need to either flip something to the top or to the bottom. So let's practice a little bit. 5 to the negative 2. Following this example right here, the rule says I need to make a fraction, a 1 on top because there was no fraction to begin with, and on the bottom, that's where the 5 goes along with its power. Now once you put the object where it does belong, the power is no longer negative, it becomes a positive. Many of our problems will say, that's a 2 by the way, I'm using a bigger writing utensil so you can see better, and it's bleeding through. Once you put the object where it belongs, the exponent will no longer be negative. In many of the problems that we work that have negative exponents, the instructions will say, make sure there are no negative exponents in your answer. So to leave it as a negative exponent would be incorrect. Now, this is not done. We have 1 on top, 5 squared on bottom, and 5 squared is 25. So 5 to the negative 2 power is the fraction 1 over 25. But wait, what if the negative exponent happens to be in the denominator, on the bottom of the fraction? Well, that's still telling us the same thing, that this object is on the wrong side of this divide sign. And once we put it where it does belong, this exponent will become positive. So the 2 is on bottom, it has a negative exponent. That means the 2 needs to go on top. What takes its place? A 1, if there's nothing left on the bottom. 2 to the 3rd power. That's a 3. And then go ahead and complete that. 2 to the 3rd power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, over 1. If all you have on the bottom is a 1, you can take the fraction away. You're left with just the whole number. 2 to the negative 3 means 2 to the positive 3 over 1. Okay, let's try it with some variables. Looking through here, I have a 5 that has a power of positive 1. I'm going to go ahead and make my divide sign. The 5 is going to stay on top because its exponent is positive. The 3 on the bottom is to the negative 2. It's telling me this is on the wrong side. I need to move it to the top. So up here, 3 to the second power. Now it's become positive. Next I get to the x's. This x is to the negative first power. It's on top. That means it needs to be moved to the bottom. It's to the first power, so I don't even have to write the 1 right there. Now on top, I have this y to the second power. This power is positive, so it stays on top. Y to the second. So I've taken care of the 5, the 3, this x, this y, and all that remains is this y to the negative first power. That means it doesn't belong on the bottom, it belongs on the top, y to the first power. So there are some things that we can complete here. We've got 5 times 3 squared. So what do we do first? Do we do 5 times 3 first, or do we do 3 squared first? Well, the order of operations, PEMDAS. Parentheses, there's no parentheses. Aha, exponents. The exponent gets completed first. So this is 5 times 9. And now we have y squared times y to the first. Add those two together. We have y to the third. And on the bottom is the lonely, lonely, lonely x. We all want the x to end up on the bottom, don't we now? Now we're still not done. We still have this multiplication that we can do. 5 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45. Y to the third, x. There we go. It's all done. So we started out with analyzing what we had. And then again, it was a matter of regrouping, putting everything where it rightly belonged. When we did that, all of the exponents turned out to be positive, and then we were able to begin simplifying until we could simplify no more, and that is our answer. So what about when we have parentheses and the power rule? Well, nothing changes here. What this means is that this whole grouping, everything in this set of parentheses, is on the wrong side of the divide sign. We're going to need a divide sign. If I distribute this negative 2, the 7 has a power of 1, so it's 1 times negative 2, so negative 2. The a has a power of 1, so 1 times negative 2 is still negative 2. And the b has a power of 1, so 1 times negative 2 is still negative 2. That tells me the 7 needs to go to the bottom, the a needs to go to the bottom, the b needs to come to the top. So here we go. 7 on bottom, now it has a positive exponent. The b on bottom, the a on bottom, now it has a positive exponent. And the b on top, it has a positive exponent. One more thing we can do is right here. 7 squared is 49. So we have b squared, 49, a squared. And that's the final answer. So, what if you started out with something that looked like this, and it needed to be written as a whole number with an exponent? Well, the 4 is on the bottom. If I want to write the 4 as a whole number instead of a fraction, 4, but then I would have to do this, -1. That means it came from the bottom of a fraction and there was no numerator other than 1 on top. I could change it back. Hey, here's a 4 over 1. That means the 4 is on the wrong side of the divide sign. 1 on top, 4 on bottom, bada boom, bada bing. We're right back where we started.